Southeastern Carpenters Training Trust. We covered 3 states the trust does, and South Carolina, North Carolina, and Georgia. What we do here, and it's been a tradition since 1945 here in Atlanta, that there's an apprenticeship within the local. It's probably by far the best one so far that we've had, since 1945. We've developed through the international training system, and we use all the tools available through them. We still, the old-fashioned, we learn theory and we apply it, but we mainly work with our hands.
What this does is that for each one of us, we have to change the way we do business as women. Our disciplines as business owners, what we've been traditionally doing, we need to expand ourselves. And with this, not only do you have an expansion of your labor force, but your knowledge base on being able to associate more of the 16 divisions of work. Now, I know I didn't introduce myself formally, but my name's Kareem Ali, and my family, along with Ms. Hearns, actually founded the coalition. And so we have been in business for possibly 20 plus years, and we are the product of a union upbringing in terms of how our upbringing has been in terms of our business. But just imagine, I am an estimator by birth for my family. So when I look at things, I look at what I saw and what I just heard as an estimator. Now we can bid on less productivity and designing some particular systems in-house, where we can now, instead of just bidding for the small baby things, we can start bidding for the most complicated items that are on the table when those bids are out. We have some of the major projects that are coming up right now. The University of Georgia has allowed us to see all the projects that's coming out and all the dynamics of that. You have the workforce and the support of union contractors, and you change the way that you are able to go after line items. And I probably go through every last one of you all, but Muriel's owns a door and lock firm. Been in business 20 plus years, plus she's an attorney. Muriel, she's an 8A firm. So instead of her utilizing the same way that she's been doing business, now we're going to go after projects that we're going to expand her specialty into doing hanging more doors with the locks. Guess who hang the doors? The Carpenters. So she's expanding her work base. Giovanna's, well, the Scotts, there's Giovanna Constructors. Their discipline has been professional work, and now they're shifting their division into construction. So they have primarily added another division without even expanding any cost to expanding that division. So, I just want you all to understand that this has taken several months to put together. The union is not, I have beat Mark Brown to death for him to, okay? And anything you want to go after, they are willing to put their money and their experience behind us. So you need to tell your friends that times have changed. When he said that we were changing the face of contracting, we are. We're opening up the fields of communications. And you have a support level that you've never had before, ever, whatsoever. So I encourage you all to look on the walls of all the prime contractors that you see, Manhattan, Cork and Howard, J.M. Wilkerson. These are the primary people that they said, Karima, these guys, if Nicole wants to go after that airport job, we'll give New South and Malone a call and say, let's go after this particular. If C.J. Hearn wants to go up, and you got Whiting and Turner. So this opportunity is past. That means they're bringing bonding capacity. They're bringing financial capacity. The coalition has done one thing, and that is to build social capital networks, human capital networks, and financial capital networks. And this is what this situation means. And this is not for everybody. I'm so happy 300 people didn't turn up, because this is for real women. You understand what I'm saying? This is for real women, because this is real business here. You're not going to get any better than this. So I'm going to not say nothing else. Okay.
This is our concrete form area. I've got a man here. How many years would you say Johnny's got? 25 years?
Yeah.
30 years. What we do is we bring carpenters out of the field, and they with extensive experience, and we bring them right in here, and we give them the material they need, and we let them train. So this is Johnny teaches concrete form. He can teach it right here, and he can have that whole area if you need to. Depending on what he's building, we'll set the door frames, we'll set the doors, we'll actually mortise out the locks. Who looks to have the door company? She's on the telephone, okay. Yeah. I was going to show you, since you had the door company, we do show them how to install doors. We show them how to install the frame. We show them how to install the door. If the doors are blank, we show them how to mortise out the lock sets, install the lock sets. So it's a real good class. These are ceiling labs right here. What we'll do is we'll put men in here and teach them how to hang suspended ceiling. This particular it's cut up, but it's actually a ceiling ladder. We would put them on a scissor lift right here, or scaffolding, or anything to get them up there. And we teach them how to install suspended ceiling. This would be an example of a suspended ceiling right here, and you can see how it supports the actual structure.
So
the boom lift over there, it is a certified program. We do teach it.
I've been on this thing.
Have you really?
Yeah, I work.
I'll pull out that thing right there. That's a simulated door frame. And what I'll do is I'll pull it out here and I'll make it go through the door frame without actually touching it.
Oh yeah.
This particular thing is just right to go through the door frame. So when you're on the job, this is how you get it in.
You don't want to hit the frame.
You don't want to hit the frame. This particular wall right here, if you notice all the holes in it, it's blank for a reason, because when we teach a drywall hanging class,
Yeah.
we literally use this wall over and over again. We'll bring them, and we teach them how to screw patterns. In order to get stuff past inspection, they have to be a particular screw pattern. And contractors also like to have employees that really handle themselves in a fast, productive manner.
We teach them how to play.
We teach them how to make that up. When you go out on the job site, you pretty much, if they pick up you don't know what you're doing, you're not going to keep your job too long. And I have had guys that have come and I have shown them how to put up stuff and gone to interviews, and they take them out in the field and say, show me what you got, and those guys take the information I give them, and they get those jobs because they have knowledge that they wouldn't have had, a day before. So if I can get people on the job site where they can get their feet wet and start making some money and start learning a trade, that's what I'll do.
So you basically can take even young people and show them how to become
I
employees.
specialize in young people.
We do train professionalism and leadership, and that's a key to any construction company, to have good leaders in that field, because that's where your money's at. They're the ones that's making your money.
So that way, therefore, you can now employ your nephews and start building second generation firms. As we're a second generation firm, we're hoping to lead into the 21st century more and more second generation firms, because I started off as an apprentice in the concrete union in Chicago, and it took me 3.5 years to get to a 3-year program. So I was one of the worst apprentices they had ever made in life. So, but I think I turned out okay after a few years. And so we're able to now work and expand in our communities in a different fashion, you guys. This also gives us an opportunity to take the pookies of the world, and those bad children that you want to touch into church, and get them into this program so that they'll look at Miss Herms and Miss Jim Scott and look at the people that's in this room and say, she gave me my start. Because if we get them here, these men will straighten out these young men that's out there. They are not scared of anybody. So these guys are straight out. Our girls and our young girls and our young men, because it's a no nonsense situation. This is all safety related. The most important thing is that it's taught and practiced here, so that when you're on a site, you don't have those calls coming, my job just got shut down by OSHA, because everything has been pre-planned in training. So you're looking at a different aspect of how you approach your business. We are all professional contractors now. And, you know, this is not for everybody. I keep telling everybody this. This may not be for you. This is for thick-skinned women. You got a question?
Yeah, you could just look at me and tell, huh? Do y'all work with maybe behavioral disorder kids that are like 15, 16, 17, 20 that have no other direction?
I worked 21 years at Job Corps. You ever heard of that?
My uncle was in it.
Got another question?
I apologize for being late, but so I wasn't listening to I didn't listen to the presentation. What are the prerequisites? I mean, how do if I have children or if I know of children that may be interested in the program, or youth, I should say, from my church or whatever, how do I go about getting them involved? And what is it because of, do you have to be part of the union, or how does it work?
Well, we have a pre-apprenticeship program which we haven't developed yet here until we find out what we're doing. But it's 17 or older here as far as joining. But you have to be 18 years old to get on the construction site. Any of our construction sites, I don't know. I started when I was 13, so you know. But nowadays, a lot of construction sites, the insurance required that you're 18 and older. So. But we do take them at 17. Now we have a pre-apprenticeship program designed nationwide that we can put in place that takes care of the younger ones. That's in high school, going part-time high school. And we could, and I have done it, possibly develop a training program for them, a part-time training program that they come in and do. At this present moment, we don't have it, but our goal right now is apprenticeship and working with our contractors and stuff. That's our main goal.
Right. One of our things that the National Coalition has is a Youth Build Foundation. So we have a Youth Build program for ages 16 to 24.
What we do is we get students and we give them each a little bitty room. And then in that little bitty room we teach them how to run crown, we teach them how to run base, we teach them how to set doors, chair rails. It involves, carry on. The reason it's built like this with the wood is so we can tear it back out. And if you were here a couple weeks ago, you would have seen this thing completely trimmed out. But now that we're getting ready to do classes again, we tear it all back out and we restore it to the condition you see it is now.
Somebody asked me about the panic hardware something. All our door stuff we store back there in the back. We got a bunch of stuff back to the left too. So, and then whatever hardware that our contractors give us to train on. Usually what we have extra, we store it back there and then we'll train on it again.
New things come out, the contract, they send them to you to train them.
Yeah, doors, hinges, locks, panic hardware, anything that they have over out there, and anything they want to train on, they'll send it to us. And plus we've purchased a lot of them too, so whatever it takes to do it.
And what about the stairs, Barry?
Those come down and they go back up. We teach them how to come.
Everybody come in there. Come on in. Okay.
That is a stair area.
Oh, okay.
They got the stairs out there.
We do have a wood framing class that's going to be starting this quarter. It'll be wood framing 1, 2, and 3. Basic wood framing, where we teach them how to do the layouts and square up the floors, and then as it progresses, the walls, the ceilings, the stairs, it'll hit wood framing 3 as it gets more complicated. So we got a class, wood framing 1 and 2, coming up. It's a 10-week class, and that would have been an interesting one for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
So they bring up foundations too.
What I'm going to do is out there in that big area out there, I am going to build it start with a sill plate, and the sill plate would normally go on a concrete foundation, and we're just going to let the floor out there be our concrete foundation, and I will start the structure from the sill plate up.
Wow. Yeah.
And I will include everything. And then I got a drywall class. I'm teaching a drywall class, and what I'll do is after I get the structure built, I will bring the drywall hanging guys in there and let them hang out the structure, and they will also do the finishing, which is what we talked about earlier. So I'm going to teach them how to hang drywall. I'm going to teach them how to finish. I'm going to teach them how to frame. And then at the same time, we'll have other teachers teaching
electrical, ductwork.
Did you say this is the elevator shaft?
That is the elevator, yeah.
So they go in and do the shoring for the elevator?
No, what we do is we do core board. It's called core board. That's this material right here. That material, this would actually simulate the structure. And what we would do is the inside of this stuff, where the elevator, as you can imagine, would sit in the main structure, come up and down in the main structure. But all these holes right here would have to be filled in with something. And it would be filled in with that core board right there.
We use all the materials used out on the shop. Everything that we do out there